To the person who says you can't have it all, I would like to offer the Bestop Sunrider as evidence that you absolutely can. Designed to fit perfectly with your 2021 and newer two-door Broncos factory hardtop, this gives you the best of all worlds. You can have open air motoring in just seconds, but you keep the benefits of your factory hardtop. The hardtop on the new Broncos is great, especially because it has that removable panel at the front. However, when you want to take that off, it's a bit of a pain. It's one large panel and you've got to store it somewhere once you remove it. It's just one large panel and then you have to store it somewhere once you remove it. And if you encounter rain or inclement weather, it's not that easy to get that panel back on quickly. But the Bestop Sunrider is the solve here. Now this is a folding fabric panel that takes the place of your front hardtop panel, and it gives you tons of flexibility. You can easily flip this right open by yourself if you want to enjoy some open air driving and sunshine, and then you can close it back up just as easily should you need to get out of the elements. Now you can leave this on all year round too, as it is designed to be weather resistant with OEM style seals and heavy duty fabric construction. It's pretty quiet too, thanks to a multi-layer fabric, so you're not sacrificing comfort either. The Sunrider really is the best of all worlds, and if you do ever want to swap back to your full hardtop, this comes out easily since it doesn't require any permanent modifications. As we've come to expect from Bestop, construction here is all super solid. This comes pre-assembled just as you see it right here on the table, with the fabric on the frame assembly and all the seals and brackets already installed. That fabric is going to be a thick multi-layer material similar to what you'd find on an OE soft top. This is going to help insulate it from the weather so you can run this all year long. Now the outer layer here is designed to be UV and mildew resistant, and the OE style seals mean that this can stand up to whatever Mother Nature can throw its way. Plus it's going to integrate perfectly with your factory doors, so you don't have to change anything else except for this panel. Pricing comes in at about $950, and it's kind of hard to classify this as it's really a unique product in the market. But think of it this way, if you were to buy a whole soft top to get a similar feel and functionality, you'd end up spending way more than this, and swapping out tops between the soft and the hard tops, that's a huge hassle. So you can spend less and get most of the way to a soft top, keep the benefits of your hard top, and this is going to be easier to use. So if you've got the cash, this is definitely a worthwhile investment. Installation gets a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around, well, just about 10 minutes. You need to just pop the hardtop panel off, take this guy out of the box, and set it right into place. We're going to show you how to do that right now as we head on out to the shop.
Tools required for this install include an impact gun, a ratchet, 4mm Allen socket, T30, T40, and T50 torque socket. What's up guys? Today we're installing a Sunrider on our Bronco, so let's get started. So now first thing we need to do is remove our top panels. Now we've got 3 of these latches that we need to turn 90 degrees, and then this one we just need to pull down on. You have to remove your driver's side one first, and then you can remove your passenger. And then you can lift up and maneuver this out. And then you can do that same thing on your passenger side. So now we need to mount up our sidebars to our Sunrider. So I've got this sitting upside down. This is the back part of the Sunrider. Now you want to make sure that these brackets are pointed inward, and then we're just going to line up these 2 holes with the threaded inserts in our Sunrider. So line those up and then take your M6 bolts and thread those into those threaded inserts. Then you can take 4mm Allen socket and tighten down your 2 bolts. Do that same thing on the other side. So now we've got a couple bolts on each side that we need to pull out before we can install our Sunrider. So we've got one right up here and then one back here. We're going to take a T50 torque socket on the impact gun and pull these out. And then hang on to these bolts, we're gonna reuse them later. So now I've got myself a buddy, we're gonna lift this up and get it over the windshield and lay it into place. Now on the back of our Sunrider, we've got a protective strip here that covers our weather seal. So I'm just gonna peel that back, and then we can start mounting this down. So now at the back of the Sunrider here, we need to install this mounting bracket to tighten that down. So we're gonna have to remove these 2 bolts here. So take a T30 torque socket and pull those 2 out. And then you can grab your bracket and raise that up into place. And then we have M6 bolts included in the kit that we're going to be replacing those 2 bolts with. So get those threading by hand first. And then we're going to take our M8 bolts with that flat washer and thread those into our Sunrider. So get your Sunrider straightened out, line up your holes, and thread your bolts in. Now I'm going to leave that loose for now until we get our other bolts installed, and then we'll tighten everything down. So now we're going to install the bolts into our side rails here. Now we've got a spacer that's going to be going under the back one. We're going to use that longer bolt to go through that spacer. So just lift up a little bit and slide that into place. And then thread your bolt down through the spacer and into the hole it originally came out of. Take your smaller bolt up front. Same thing, put that into the hole that originally came out of. And then we can grab our T50 torque socket, tighten these down. We'll do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll go back to the middle. So now we're going to go back to that middle mounting bracket. On those M6 bolts, we're going to take a 4mm Allen socket to tighten those down. And on the M8s, we're going to take a T40 torque socket to tighten that down. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Bestop Sunrider for factory hardtops in Black Diamond for your 2021 and newer 2-door Bronco. Thank you for watching, and for all things Bronco, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.